Hi gang, Jimmy D here, back with free Game Pass Hunters, and in today's video we're going to grab our rewards points by earning an achievement in a Game Pass game called Return to Grace, where we are working towards 100% completion so that we can get that 1000 gamer score, or that platinum trophy, or whatever you guys get in Steam. If you guys are just starting to follow along, I do offer a chapter select in the descriptions below, as well as a link to my playlist at the end of this video. And with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and start up our game. We can tap our A button, just skip through this real quick, and press any button to continue. Start up our game, and we are going to go ahead and start up with the settlement, where we are heading down the elevator.
Do you know if the pod system has stops along the way?
It does not.
We are arriving at the track terminus now.
We are going to head forward, guys, down this hallway. And this next puzzle coming
I
up
can't believe how well preserved it is.
has to be completed in 21 moves or less for the achievement.
As long as life support is functional, it's not entirely impossible that someone's taken up here.
Or they could be zombies.
Well, that settles it. I'll disable PAL now.
Don't you dare. You might need him.
So, on this panel, guys, what we need to do is we need to make a backwards Z, or Z, as my friends across the pond would like to say. So, let's use the security panel.
Ooh, more buttons.
You really are unburdened.
And what we need to do is just start off making the backwards Z.
And I thought you were getting the hang of these.
From right to left.
You might call it a backwards Z or Z. And you'll need to make it the full width and height of the panel. Just having PAL running in the background is making us all a little stupider. If we did switch PAL off, I could always switch him back if we need to burn something.
There's our backwards Z, guys. Now, let's get rid of the extraneous lights. And this last button should be 21.
There.
And yep, for whatever reason it didn't pop. Let's check it out. I like doing it this way. Clever girl. Solved the security door with no mistakes. For whatever reason, guys, it didn't pop. But let's go ahead and continue with our little adventure here. Turn that off. My good night. And then go ahead and pressurize this airlock.
I've been thinking about why anyone would want Grace to be shut down. And I wonder if there could have been a flaw in her base programming.
Like what?
Control and empathy programming divert valuable processing power away from cognitive ability.
Which way am I going?
The big colorful doors. As I was saying, empathy interferes with practical decision-making. Control is a 4-year-old.
You are a 4-year-old.
Please stop.
Go ahead and examine this panel here, guys.
It says Keeper Rosaline.
She looks like a keeper.
She's pretty.
What do you suppose a keeper is?
It must have been a revered title if a statue was made for her.
Well, if she's pretty, she's a keeper.
Spire caretaker, maybe.
In most instances. I will say, guys, coming up, before we continue, and there's a whole bunch of dialogue, we need to examine everything. and do not rush. Examine, let mom talk, as mom is coming up here shortly, and let her finish her dialogue, as this is part of an achievement. So, let's go ahead and use the security panel.
The key to
We
restoring
don't
Grace
know the
may be
code,
about understanding her
so
potential
let's just
flaws.
enter a
Are you
T.
gonna tell me the pattern?
You think we're flaws? Having a few flaws is perfectly alright.
Logic sounds jealous to me.
Jealous? Of what? You can't even open doors without me.
Where are you going with this?
We'll talk again once you can tell me who Everett is. Figure that out, and I'll grant you access to the main elevator.
Grant us
Grant me
access.
access? Logic. Seriously?
She has no way to do things without your help. It must be frustrating for her.
Could we create another hybrid? Logic and empathy?
Yeah. Like how you made me. I could give it a try.
Stop, stop, stop. You'll burn the place down. I will run a logic and empathy configuration as long as you promise never to allow Pal here to do any reconfiguring of our processing.
Deal.
I don't think that smart lady likes me very much.
Hello, Addie.
And this
Where
new
do you want to
config
start?
is mom.
Can we start with the security door to the settlement elevator?
They are encrypted. It would take me days to work out the pattern.
Is there any other way into the settlement?
There is a room off to the side that does not have an encrypted entry. Perhaps we'll find something helpful there.
Let's go ahead and use this keypad then, off to the left.
So you can open
And
these
as
ones?
Simon
They
says,
have simple passcodes. I can retrieve
she'll
them
enter it,
back for you.
you enter
You'll
it.
need to enter the sequence manually.
Now, here is the tricky part, guys. We need to examine all 4 pieces of equipment here and let mom do her job and tell us all about them. All 4 pieces of equipment we need to examine. So, let's go ahead and examine this
This
first
looks like
one
another
here.
Control room. These are data banks?
Yes, they contain flight records to and from the Spire.
Anything interesting about the records?
Don't rush off,
All
guys.
seem to be coming from internal
Gotta
Spire,
let mom talk.
meaning the trip planning and coordination is all done here.
Where are people traveling from?
Everywhere. Destinations seem very evenly distributed throughout the solar system.
Examine this next one.
Do you know what this is?
It appears to be some sort of interface from which humans can track activity within the Spire. Elements of the interface are missing. I'm not sure I can access it.
I think my comm device can be calibrated to connect.
Of course, yes. Let's give that a try.
Examine this one.
More missing equipment.
This looks carefully removed.
Then come back here and hack this data bank. We're going to use our wristband like we did
Occupied the rooms over the years.
in the beginning chapter.
You got it.
Do we know the Spire's capacity?
50 units. There it is. There are millions of names here.
Millions.
Well done.
If a million people cycled through here, no one could have lived here that long.
A few weeks at most, by my estimates. Okay, I found record of an Everett who stayed on the 3rd floor. Unlike other visitors, there is no record of him leaving the Spire.
So, Everett was a worker, or a colonist who lived here. Is that enough for you, Logic?
Hardly. It does nothing to explain why Grace would be calling to him.
So I'll need to find a way up to the 3rd floor.
Let's
Perhaps we can find
examine
one
the
on
map
Spire
when we
across
give it
from
a
the
chance.
console.
All right. What are we looking for?
Grace processors are located at the top of the structure, as might be expected. There is also a massive radio beacon.
The beacon is the key, Addie. You must go now to activate the beacon to call the masses back to the spire.
Just a few minutes ago, you wanted me to leave on my ship.
The beacon is the answer. It has always been the answer.
Okay. Can you get me to the beacon then? Control?
Control would not be able to override security.
Then we need to learn more about Everett.
Here's the room where Everett once stayed.
Ooh, maybe we can see it from the balcony.
Possibly, but I don't see a viable route to get there.
And again, we should have gotten an achievement for Everett. So let's take a peek here, guys. And I know him. Uncovered Everett's identity. Clearly, Xbox is screwing up for me today, guys. But there it is. And since we got our save icon, let's go ahead and pause our game. And we're going to do something a little strange here, guys. Let's quit to the main menu. And we're going to start a game. And in this slot here, guys, we are going to copy this slot here. So let's go ahead and copy this slot to slot 2, as we're going to have to go back and forth between saves in the future. At this point now, guys, since we've copied it and we have 2 of the same saves, let's go ahead and quit our game. Turn in our rewards for the day. Of course, Xbox, you've been screwing up all evening, so why not one more time? Head home. And for continued rewards, continued achievements and trophies, and continued videos, guys, you know what buttons to press. But as always, have a great day. See ya!